welcome to Habesha Connection. I go by the name of Sam, aka Sam Fitness. We're back once again with Serayee.
Hey, whoop, 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 whoop. Come on, guys. Some delayed reaction, you know.
Yeah. How you been?
I'm good. How you been?
I'm good.
How's Corona been treating you?
Eating, growing.
Okay, cool.
You?
Good. Yeah, same. I don't even know. Like, it feels like any other day. Doesn't feel like Corona's there or not.
Really?
Yeah.
When
you got kids, bruv, every day's the same. Literally.
I'm loving the top.
Thank you. It is from a lady in Birmingham called Anicia. Anicia. So I'll give you her Instagram. You can tag her, please.
Yes, we can tag
And
her.
the earring as well.
Oh, amazing. Nice. Today we got a very, very interesting topic going on today, right?
What is it?
You ready for this one?
I'm all ears. Tell me.
Right. Does body count matters in our community, especially in the Habesha community?
I think in male or female, body count does matter. In the Habesha community, 100%. 100%. What do you think?
I think it matters to the guys. I'm not too sure if it matters for the girls.
100% it matters to the girls.
I'm not too sure.
You guys are a bit...
I think we're more sensitive.
fun-loving. Sensitive?
Yeah.
In what? So I'm confused. I'm so confused in what way?
Every way. So I don't know.
I talk about sensitive in the bedroom, or what you talk about? Because
we're not
I'm
going there.
just saying, like, I'm confused.
I think when it comes to body count, I think the guys, we're a bit think, oh, if she's been with so many guys, not even so many, or if she's been with someone that I know to certain numbers, they're like, ooh, they won't even go that far to get to know the person.
Question.
Yeah.
What is a good number? So what would be the ideal number? Say, for example, okay, you're married.
Yeah.
So like when you first met your wife, if you guys had to talk about body count and she said, all right, I've had how many?
We've never spoken of body count.
No, but how many? If she said to you, oh, you know what, Sam, before you, boy, I had about 20. What are you saying?
I don't think it really matter. No, it depends. If how raw can I be? If you've been getting ramped up everywhere, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different case. But I think I think in a certain age, right, it shouldn't matter.
I mean, I don't know. It's debatable because I feel like if it's been too much.
What's too much?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What's too much for a female? Tell me. If you met a guy, not even you, just anybody else, your friend. Let's just go for your friend. She goes, I met this guy. He's a lovely guy, right? He had his body count in certain numbers. What number would it be acceptable for you?
I think 10 is all right.
10.
Yeah.
Why 10?
Because it's even. It's not like I feel like 11, 12, 13. Like it's a bit. I don't know. Maybe 10 is too small. In a guy's lifetime, I think they've had more than 10. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know, man.
10. We're going for 10. I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter. I mean, if it depends, it all depends. There are people who start early. There are people who start late, right? So does it really matter?
So you're telling me it doesn't matter what number your girlfriend has.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, if you find a girl, she tells you, you know what? She's been with 2,000 guys. Yo,
what's she been doing, right?
Exactly. You're gonna go like,
ask for tips now, joking.
Bro, she might have been with all your cousins. With small communities. You know what I'm saying to you? So you got to check.
Do you know what I feel like? I don't know. Like, I feel like 2,000 is definitely too much. 2,000 is a lot. Because like, even when you're having sex, you're exchanging energies. So imagine you've got like 2,000 different people's energy.
You might have your cousin, you might find I'm under, I don't know, that person in the, you know what I mean? Like, so it depends.
No. I think too much, there has to be a level. But then the thing is, do you think that you should disclose how, like, your body count anyway? Is it important?
It shouldn't.
You shouldn't, right?
To me, it shouldn't be.
You should.
I think when you get to know the person, right? You meet a person, you want to know what type of person they're, their personality, what they do in life. This is what matters, right? Obviously, as a man, you want to know if she's been your best friend, cousin, because we're a very small community. So you want to know the small details.
But then how would you go about saying to her, like, oh, Are you gonna like go through your phone and be like, oh, you know, these are my friends. Do you know any of them? Or my cousins? Do you know? Do you think you recognize? How would you? You're not. How would you know?
This is what I would expect from adult, right? 2021, right? If you meet a girl or a guy, the first thing they do, they go to Instagram, right? They find mutual friends.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So if the person find mutual friends, they should ask you who this person are. Are they your friends? You have a normal conversation.
But that's a bit too invasive. Like, if you just met, if you guys are just getting to know each other,
but then how are you going to know? We're a very small community. How are you going to know?
Yeah, but let's say, for example, you came to chat to me and we've exchanged numbers, we exchanged socials and stuff, and we're getting to know each other. We're in that talking stage. You don't really have the right to ask me who this person is.
I'm going to know who your friends are. You're going to mention your friends somehow or another. And then we'll come, I'm going out today. Who are you going? Yeah, I'm going out with Sarah.
I won't mention the girls. I won't mention the guys.
But then that's it depends how far you're gonna go.
Yeah,
if you really like the person, it's gonna go further and further and further. So if you into them, you're gonna ask questions.
So if that person, let's say if this girl has gone out with a few of your friends, that's all right. You wouldn't mind. But if she slept with them, that's something different.
As from male perspective, what I realize is, right, especially Eritreans, right, someone, right, I think is like a good friend of ours said early on, the Habesha guys worried more about the other Habesha guys, what they think. You know, that really resonate in my brain, and they do. In my head, I feel like the guys worry more other guys think than the girls worry what other girls think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's some girls that do worry about what other girls think, but maybe not what other girls think, but what their people think, their clique, right? Because in the end, what other people think about you doesn't really matter because you don't know them. You're not like them. They're just acquaintances, or they're just people that you walk past on the street or have on social, that people that claim to know you, that claim like, oh yeah, I know Serayee, or I know Sam. Yeah, we're friends. We go back from back in the day, and you only met once or twice in a restaurant. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, I personally would not date someone that my friend has
dated.
Yeah.
What about...
Or slept with, lips, anything. Because if I lips that person, I'm lips in my bedroom. If I'm doing things in that, I'm doing things in that.
No, but I don't see it that way.
I do.
If you met a guy, he didn't know he dated your friend, and he's the right guy for you.
I don't know.
He's the love of your life. You're literally going to go, no, it's not for me.
I'll do a lot. I'll go better Christian. I don't know. I'll do a lot of stuff. I don't know. Because that's hard. Like, if he's the one, I don't know if I believe in the one, but if he ticks a lot of boxes, and I don't know.
No, but we're very small community. Sometimes
it depends on how close is that if that's my bed, like my girl. Nah, I can't. Doesn't matter.
We're bound to know someone who dated the person that we're dating.
I'm trying to think of the people that I've dated, and if they
have you ever had that situation, or have you ever had a friend who dated someone that they knew someone, they dated their friend or their cousins?
What? I just did not understand what you said to me.
Have you ever had a friend, right? Let's say one of your friends, she met a guy, right? And
I'm thinking as always, thank God.
Right, you're thinking, you're calculating, right? And then you find out the guy that she's dating is dated one of your other friends.
But that's happened. But not one of our friends, but someone that we know.
Oh, no. So
yeah,
does that make a difference?
Yeah, 100%. Acquaintance is acquaintance.
What about if he's just a friend, then you're thinking, you know what, she's telling you he's the right guy for me, but she doesn't know that he dated one of her other friend.
See, it's my duty to tell her.
So you tell her?
I don't know, but
even
it's my duty. That's
they
my
can
duty.
Break up. Would you tell her?
I don't know.
Every night she's calling you, he's the one, I'm going to marry him, he loves me, he buys me injera, everything. Like, what on? Are you going to go, no?
He buys you injera, bruv, he's a keeper.
Do you know what I mean, though? Would you tell the girl, look?
Do you know what? Like, if I don't need to tell her, why would I want to tell her, right? If there's a reason, like maybe he's still chatting to that girl or whatnot, then I might have to say. But if it's just something that's in the past, it's in the past, isn't it? But I don't know. I might, you know what I'll do? Boom. I would create a scenario and I would tell her, look, what would you do if you were in this situation? And I'll see what she would say. And if she tells me she would say, then I'll tell her, boom. If she says she wouldn't,
is that the same thing? Because sometimes 100%. we can go, oh, do you know, this is what I would do. But when it comes to us, we react a bit different.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm not even going to lie. I don't take my own advice. I'm good to give it.
If it makes them happy, I'll leave them to it.
I don't know, bruv. I don't know.
I
had a situation where someone, I'm not going to name. Someone had come to me out of nowhere and told me that she was the mistress.
Whoa.
For my friend's
She's proud
husband.
of it.
But who knows? But because I randomly added her because I was adding people for like, our shy parties and stuff. And then she was like, oh, I was wondering why you added me. I was like, oh, because I'm promoting the party.
Oh,
and she was like, oh, but I thought it was because of da-da-da-da. And I was like, say what? And then I was in a predicament because anyway, my friend and her husband broke up anyway. But I was like, do I then go back and tell her that this person has contacted me and told me this, or do I just stay quiet?
The person who's married, is she very good
No,
friend of yours?
they divorced.
Yeah, but were they married at that time?
Not when the girl contacted me. They had been divorced already, but he had cheated on the girl. I'm really trying not to slip up here. They had cheated on the girl while she was married. Do you get it? And then when she told me, I was like, I saw red because the person is very close to me. And then I was like, oh, I can't say it because there's no point in me saying it because they've already broken up, whatever. However, a few years later, I did bring it up because we were cussing the guy and I was like, but did you know this?
But then she turned around and goes, why didn't you tell me?
No, she was like, what an idiot.
That's it. She's a good
Because
friend.
she already knew. She already had an inkling, do you get it? And it was a long time. It's been a very long time. Do you get it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But
So it's really hard when you're trying to give examples and you're trying not to.
Why was the girl so comfortable to tell you she's a side chick?
Who knows? I don't know.
I don't get it. Does that happen a lot in our community? Is there a lot of
side chicks?
Yeah.
I think it happens in every community, and 100% the Habesha community, 100%, because sometimes it's easy to be a side chick because the person who you're being a side chick with doesn't want deaf people to know, and then you can get your things without getting your business out there as well. However, I do know, or I've heard of a few side chicks who have done stuff, but their information's going around. So it's like, well, what was the point?
Yeah, news travel fast in our community.
In our community, too much.
I feel like on the older days, if I look in the Habesha community, the older dads, they all got kids on the side. I feel like they always had this side chick going on more than now. Am I right or wrong though? Like do you know what? Somehow your brother will pop in from nowhere. This is your brother. Oh, that's your sister. What? Yeah. And I feel, I could be wrong, the mothers accept it. They don't divorce, they keep their husband.
Do you know what? I don't think it's like they accept it, but it's like traditionally.
Was it too late to divorce?
No, divorce is like, it's a taboo in it. You shouldn't divorce. So for example, I've got kids, everyone knows. Me and my partner, we broke up. And that was like, oh my God, why did you not break up for? Because we didn't, and we had issues, whatever, but we're bedrooms. We raised the kids the way they need to be. There's no point in being with someone when you're unhappy and you're both like at each other's throats or whatever, because then it goes down to the kids, right? But the older generation, it was more like, okay, we have to stay together because we've got kids. But then if you're not chatting to each other, if you're sleeping in different bedrooms, the kids are not dumb. They know. Like there was a person that I worked with years ago, and he told me him and his wife, they live together, but they haven't slept in the same room for over 20 years. And I said, why are you together?
Sorry?
Yeah, because they're like...
Are you not listening?
They're done. They were done.
20 years?
They're done.
So there's no physical contact?
Nothing. They
why are they together?
They don't chat to each other. But they stay in the same house because of the kids. And I said to him, but what's the point? Your kids know that you guys are not together. They know you're not chatting. They know you don't like each other. What is the point?
You're sending a bad energy in the house.
That's what I'm saying. So... But they're not Habesha. They're white. So for me, I don't know how, I can only talk about the Habesha community, but it's a taboo in it, right? Oh, you got divorced. What? Oh, you had kids without getting married. Oh,
I feel like we live for people then. We're not actually living in our relationship.
We do live for people, 100%. So like when I got with my ex, mom was like, when are you getting married? That was it. When are you getting married? I was like, I mean, let us live a little, like we got the kid, let us raise the kids. But it's like, no, you should get married. But then it's like, well, why would I want to get married when I could use that money to put a deposit for my yard or pay for my children's extracurricular activities and stuff? But what will people say?
So we're actually living for people. Then going back to body counts, and we're actually living for people. We're not actually thinking for ourselves.
No, but then body count, you don't want to have a high body count, do you?
No, you don't. But you know what? I don't even think it's a big numbers of the problem. I think from male perspective, what I've seen around, the guys just worried what other guys think.
Irish guys are loose, bro. I'm sorry, they're so loose. I don't want to even say anything, but there's a word beginning with S. Ladies, you know what the word is, and that's what the Habesha guys
say it
are.
with your chest.
No, I won't say it.
Why? What's the problem?
Sharamuta, huh?
Oh no! Yeah,
I didn't want to say it.
Why? What makes you think that Habesha guys are Shamuta? What is it?
I'm not going to say every Habesha guy.
Yeah, but in general, like maybe the majority.
People don't come for me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, people before they start coming for me. Not every Habesha guys, but there's a lot of Habesha guys that it's okay for them to sleep with, Brenda, Letitia, Hannah, Marta, whatever. But then as soon as a girl tries to do that, it's like, but why have you gone with a Jermaine? What are you doing with Jermaine? No, you need to stay.
That's insecurity,
you need to stay
though.
in your lane. It's not about insecurity. It's about, I don't want, a guy. So it might be insecurity from the guy's perspective, right? If a girl has had a higher body count than him, it means that she maybe has more experience than him, right? So she might be better in the bed than him. And I think that's another thing.
Really?
I think that's ego as well, because guys,
it must be ego.
Habesha guys always want to think like they're
the don.
yeah, their shit don't stink.
Yeah.
So that's how they want to feel like, innit? But I don't know, ladies, comment please. When this goes out, like let everyone comment. Let's see, are they?
It's like trouble.
So I want to know, are they? Or
No,
DM me, ladies, if you don't want to bet your business out. That's how
Yeah, but what if you reverse it the other way around? If the guys had high body count,
yeah, I feel
how does that work for
they're
female?
dirty, man. I feel like they're just like they don't have respect for themselves. Personally, every female is different. Some ladies, they don't really care about body count. It is what it is, right? Others, they're more like, nah. If it's so easy for you just to give yourself to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, then boy, you don't respect yourself. You're bringing any kind of disease as well, right? I don't know. Like I feel like body count is.
Then isn't that why I've seen a lot of guys sometimes, right? It's weird coming from me. There are guys who live. Let's say we're in London, right? They go marry someone outside UK.
Yeah.
Because they want to avoid certain type of.
Why did you get married to someone outside of the UK?
Because I met her in London. She lives in London. There you go. Boom.
Okay.
Don't test me.
I just wanted to know because going to that, I've met a lot of people and I've asked the question like, why do habit like it's more a lot of Eritrean guys. More than Ethiopian guys. A lot of Eritrean guys. They'll marry a lot of like girls from Holland, Sweden, and I was like, and I asked this guy, I said, like, why is that? And he goes, because I don't want to be getting married to this girl and she's walking down the aisle and I'm hearing, rah, you know what, I tapped her in 2009. Swear down, I tapped her in Asmara, rah, you know what, we went Holland together. And then you're like, walking down the aisle, it's too late, innit? You're like, rah, okay, So we'll talk about this later, innit? Honeymoon, the hand, innit?
So the pride is getting in the way. You're basically running away to find somebody, but you know what, that girl could have been.
But the other girl, it doesn't like that
whatever
girl.
town she could be even a whore.
Exactly, but it doesn't matter because they don't know that in this country, right? It's
so
like where you're from.
No, you don't hurt you.
Yeah, so probably the same as in like maybe the guys in Holland won't marry a Habesha girl from Holland because they're like, nah, they got a reputation, and then they might go somewhere else. But again, like you said, pride. It's not. I don't think it's pride. It's reputation, right? We're a community. It's all about, oh, you know, this is this person's son. That's this person's daughter. You know, they did this. They graduated from here. They're good education. They got to Beta Christian or they do that. And it's like all that pressure mounts on you. So like, obviously I had a child out of wedlock and it was like, wait, what are the people from church going to say? And I was like, bun them, bro. I don't care.
So that was a shocking moment. Like to the whole
For them, yeah. For me, it was like, I'm having a baby, boy. Jeez. That's more like, I'm shocked about the baby. Do you know what I mean? It was a blessing, but then within the community, it's like, but you go church. You should be married. I mean.
But that's your choice.
I mean, it happens, isn't it? That's all I can say. And just because you go church, it doesn't make you a saint.
Of course. I mean, not everybody goes to church that believes in God.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Never heard that. Okay,
yeah, I've seen people don't believe in God, but because they born to a certain religion in the family, they just follow it. They go to the church, but they don't believe God. Yeah, so I believe it's the same thing. Yeah. It's like people, we're following what our parents think or what our friends think. But let me ask you this. Is it the same thing if you marry someone from back home?
What do you mean?
Let's say the guy is from back home, right? No, actually, I'll take that back. I've seen guys don't date Habesha girls because they dated someone outside their culture.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I've seen guys, they go, do you know what? She dated a black girl or a black guy. I'm not going to date her.
But that's silly. That's insecurity because...
I mean, you heard that before.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that. But
I've seen guys...
Why would they say that? That doesn't make sense because...
It's insecurity, it could be, but I've seen it. Oh, do you know what? She dated a yardie or she dated this.
How would they know that she dated a yardie?
Because she's open about it. She don't hide it. Right now, nobody hides anything.
But she shouldn't. Why should she?
No, she shouldn't. Live your life.
But why? This is the thing. Ugh. Okay, sorry. It really annoys me, Habesha. Like, oh, I love my Habeshas. Like, I love them to death. But at the same time, they jar me. Why is it okay for a Habesh guy to go out with anybody else that's not Habesh, but then when a Habesh girl does, oh no, you guys are cussing and swearing and blinding and da-da-da-da-da. Why is it okay for a Habesh guy to have babies with non-Habeshas, but then when a Habesh girl does it, oh, you're cussing and blinding? Why is it okay for a Habesh guy to have high numbers, body count, whatever, but then when a Habesh girl does it, we can't do that? Why? Why?
It's very insecurity. If you're an insecure person, that's what you feel. It shouldn't matter.
It can't be every Habesh guy is insecure.
I believe it is. If you're insecure for yourself, you're going to have that. If you're a very secure man, you know who you are. You don't give a fuck what anybody does. You wouldn't give a shit. Yeah. Right? This is me. This is the girl I like. I don't give a damn. But if you start worrying what other people think, that's what you become insecure. You trying to prove a point to other people. Oh, you know what? I got this girl who's clean. She's never been with anybody. It's insecurity.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's insecurity.
I don't think it's even insecurity. I think it's like ego, innit? The Habesh guy, because obviously we're talking about Habeshas before people try to come for me as well. The Habesh guys, it's like they want to be the first, right?
Yeah, of course.
I had her first.
It's ego.
I bred her first.
Yeah.
I took her here first. Why? It's always, they want to be first all the time. Sorry, guys. It's like, jars me. It's like,
I don't think there's something wrong with that if you want to be.
And the thing is, Habesh guys talk a lot. Habesh guys, I want to compare them to the old Habesh ladies that sit around making bun, right? When we sit around making bun, you chat, you know, talk about different things. Habesh guys are worse than girls now, like worse than girls. She's lovely, but Habesh guys, they literally chat. They chat everything from A to Z to
more than the girls.
1,000,000%.
I don't know, man. I'm not too sure. I think.
It's the bun has to be, bro. It has to be the bun doing something, bro.
But you know what? Someone mentioned me this the other day. And they go, you know what? This Habesha girl, they're getting too big headed for themselves because Drake start mentioning all this nonsense. You know what I mean? All this guy, they feeling Habesha girls. So now
Habesha girls are beautiful.
No doubt, they are beautiful. But some of them, they feel now they're getting too big headed for themselves.
No. See, this is the thing. Look. The reason Habesha girls are getting mentioned is because they're beautiful. They're naturally like
they've always been beautiful.
Whether they're wearing makeup, not makeup, whatever it is, they're on point, right? So if the world wants to mention them, let them mention them. It's not our fault that the guys are not getting mentioned, you know, because of the legs and the belly and the you know. But you don't need to step up your game, innit, if you don't want to get mentioned by people.
Has the guys from the world started saying Habesha girls different now? Because it does kind of make me think, why is all of a sudden everyone's on Habesha girls?
Everyone's on Habesha girls. Everybody.
Like what changed? What's changed?
No, I don't think.
In my eyes, nothing has changed. Maybe we're Habesha,
but it's more that there's so many Habesha people in the world. One, two, I think Habesha girls are now more open to date other people. Whereas before, maybe it was more like, oh, we have to stay with Habesha because we're Habesha and stuff. Yeah.
Is it still acceptable for us to date outside of our race?
I mean, acceptable to who? As long as it's acceptable to yourself, innit? Like,
yeah,
as long as
inside our community, is it still, can you freely go, do you know what, I'm dating this person? I'm dating this guy, he's Nigerian or he's Jamaican or I still believe.
It's got better. Do you know what? I think it's debatable, right? Because it depends on the person, right? It depends. There's loads of Habeshas that don't chill with other Habeshas.
Yeah.
They only chill with non-Habeshas. So for them, that's normal, right? And their families all mixed and everything like that. For that's part of daily life. There are some people that only chill with Habeshas, only want to date Habeshas, and each to their own, right? I mean, personally, like, okay, I always use myself as an example because I was born and bred here, whatever, and I had never dated a non-Habesha, ever. Ever, bruv. What? What's that? I was like, what's that?
No, but did you consciously make that decision?
Well, I started dating late anyway because I was very shy. And then when I started dating, it was when I started to come into the Habesha community. So I was like, oh, Habesha, oh my God, oh yeah, I love it. And then it was just like, yeah. And then I just never really got moved to by non-Habeshas. It was all Habesha. But over the past, whenever, maybe pre-corona, maybe post-corona, we don't know, I have been on dates with non-Habeshas. And then it's just interesting
Drake opened the doors.
Not even. But then I saw a difference and I was like, oh, okay. Like there's certain good things about it, and there's certain like bad things as well. I don't know, not bad things, but things that I'm not used to. Habeshas are nice, obviously.
Can you say one nice thing?
Yeah,
like,
I love Habesha guys. They're lovely.
What do you like?
My
about
sons
Habesha
are Habesha. Hello, they're guys, and they're gonna be good men.
But
Ladies, look up your daughters.
I think everyone's individual.
Yeah, no, look, okay. I've got some Habesha guy friends that we can have a good conversation. We can talk about loads of different things. However, when dating, sometimes, I don't know, maybe what I'm looking for mentally, I haven't found. So I have a question for you.
Go ahead. Let's go.
I'm going to touch on a subject, a taboo subject in the community. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Sex.
Woo!
When it comes to sex, why is it that Habesh mans, how do I put this? How do I put it in such a nice way?
Put it in a way that you think.
How come they don't live up to our expectations? Or not even our expectations. How comes like a lot of Habesh guys would do certain things with non-Habesh women, but when they have a Habesh girl, it's like they're not trying to do anything.
Frozen.
Yeah, kind of thing.
All right. Basically, what we're saying is, right, Habesha guys are more freaky with non-Habesha girls out there. But when it comes to the Habesha girls, they're all
prim and proper, yeah. And same for the girls as well. But why do you think that is?
I believe by conversation sometimes I have with people is, especially those that grew up in a household, I feel like they go out there, they do their thing outside the community, right? Their nastiness, their freakness, whatever you want to call it, right? When they start dating or getting married, the Habesha woman, they feel like they have to behave to a certain standard. It means, I think in their head, they thinking, do you know what? I'm going to treat her to this level because I'm not going to disrespect her. That's what they think.
But
that's
being sexually free is not being disrespectful,
absolutely,
right?
I'm with you with that one. I'm with you. You should be open whoever you're with.
That's what I'm saying, because I've heard something like with Habesh guys, they've said, you know, I hold Habesh women in such high esteem that I don't want to, you know, do that to them. And it's like, but it's like you can respect your Habesha woman, you can, you know, treat her good, 100%. But then when it comes to the bedroom department, if you want to be pleased and you want her to be pleased, then you lot need to be, you know, figuring something out.
I think it's nonsense. If you were a Habesha guy, you dating non-Habesha girl, you like your ass tickled, right? Right? Not on the real, right? And then that's your thing, right? Yeah. Now all of a sudden you go find a Habesha girl you want to marry, you should be honest with her. This is what you like. You shouldn't be going, you know what?
So communication.
Yeah, communicate. This is what I like.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes maybe they feel like, oh, do you know what? Oh, she's gonna think, you know what? I'm Siddi, or she's Siddi, or she's Balaga.
Yeah.
So they feel like, do you know what? I can't go to that level because she's gonna feel like she's been disrespected by me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you get my point?
I can agree with that.
I think that's where it is, but what they don't understand is she might feel the same way as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's like you said, if you communicate, right, you are with your partner, the person you're married, to be free to explore whatever you want to explore in life, right or wrong.
But that's you hit the nail on the head, because there's a situation now. It's like, because if you can communicate, communication is key, right? Whether it's in a friendship, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a situationship, whatever ship it is, communication is key.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, obviously, like, because we used to do parties and stuff, so I hear loads of conversations from like different ladies. And then there was one girl that I met, so it's like an acquaintance, and then she was just telling me, like, you know how girls we banter on it. Yeah. So she was telling me a sexual experience that she had with her partner. So she was like, she likes to be spanked or like slapped. Not even slapped on the face.
Oh,
and then so she told her partner that, and then he was like, oh, I can't do that, like, kind of things. Yeah. And then when she was telling me, I was a bit like, well, first I was like, why are you telling me? Because that's a bit too much information. But then it's cool, isn't it? And I said to her, what did you say? And she was like, well, he did it, but he didn't do it as hard as I wanted him to do it. So I asked him to do it again, and he was like, no. And I was like, oh,
hold
okay.
on, was he scared to hit her? Was he thinking,
I don't know. I didn't ask her that.
I mean, well, if he tried it.
I think he tried it for her because when she was saying it to me, but then it wasn't the way she wanted. And then I feel like
she wanted to get a full 5.
I think maybe, yeah, because when I asked her, I said to her, then what did you do? She goes, oh, we just carried on. And I said, okay, cool.
So what did she communicate? Yo, slap me harder.
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't ask her that, but it's a good question because maybe she thought, he's going to be like, what's going on with her? Like, why is she asking them kind of questions? Way good. Bless my arm.
And the same time, you got to ask, why did he slap her harder? I'm trying to think. I mean, why was he like
her domestic violence? I know.
You think that's what he's thinking, or was he thinking, wow, what is this girl on?
But maybe, do you know? Okay, look. So this is something that we were talking about earlier, right? A lot of people when they date non-Habesha, even they might even have a good experience with a Habesha, they might explore their sexuality, like different things they like, different things that you don't like and stuff. So then when you go with a new partner, if you're already accustomed to a certain way of doing something, you want to continue that with that partner, right? Yeah. But then unless you're able to talk to that person, but then it's about comfortability. If you're not comfortable with that person to talk to them on that level, then you might not be able to. So in my previous relationship, I've never talked about what I might like, what I might not like, because I thought, it's a bit ballet. Exactly. Literally, I thought like, that's ballet for me to even mention like stuff or like to even try and think about these kind of things. And then it was like when I spoke to other people, they were like, oh, we always talk about this with our partners. I was like, I was sitting there like, is it? Are you really? And then what? And they're like, yeah, the partner will say this, and I'm like, raw.
But do you think
people are different then?
I feel sometimes it's a bit deep rooted in us from our background. It could be from church. It could be how we grew up or how our parent grew up, the way they raised us, thinking this is bad again. Don't do this. You can't do that. Do you know what I mean? So we ain't got experience that we're supposed to have. Now all of a sudden we're thinking, I can't do that. It's bad. And that's going back. We go outside our community to explore, thinking nobody would know what we like, what we do.
That's the thing. So you mentioned something earlier on when we were off air about, because you didn't grow up in the Habesh community, but you thought Habesh girls were boring and Somali girls were the shiznik. And that was because, like you said, because they were going outside of their community, because I've heard a lot about them. They go out of their community, so it's like no one will know. If they're out of their community, you know what you don't know won't hurt you, innit? Yeah. So maybe that's what it is as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then why? We need to explore that because...
I mean, I've heard the same thing with Habesha girls. I've heard a lot of Habesha girls, they date outside their community, right? They do their craziness, their madness. And then they actually believe, you know what, I'm going to go marry an Habesha guy. I want him to look at me different. I want him to know that he's marrying a good girl. Do you get what I mean? To me...
but then you can still have that, but then just say what you like in the bedroom, innit?
You're not good girl, you're devious. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah, because you think...
Is it being devious?
Yeah, because why are you lying to yourself? That's who you are. Be who you are. Don't lie to yourself or don't...
But you know what? Denial is not an only river in Egypt. You get it? Like we all deny stuff to ourselves.
Yeah, it's true, but
and it's easier to deny.
I just don't get it. Why you have to go out there and this is what you like. You want to explore, but then you want to go meet this guy in the Habesha community. Give him.
Do you know why?
Different identity of yourself.
I'm gonna tell you. You know why? Because Habesh guys chat, and maybe and girls as well. But obviously, I'm not gonna lie. But then it's one of those things. So if this girl, let's say for example, let's call her. I was trying to think of not a bait name, but sorry, whoever's name this is. Marta is going out over Henok, and then she's like, boom, you know what? I want to try this and that and whatnot. And then Henok has now told his bedroom Michael, his bedroom Henok, like every friend, like, boy, you know what? This girl in the bedroom, she's like, da-da-da-da. Then now, whenever they see that Marta, they're going to be like, rah. They're going to look at her in a different way because they know what kind of stuff she's on, right? So then it's also that, talking.
It's just keeping your reputation intact.
Yeah, but but then the thing is, like, if we were from a different culture, I'm sure it would be the same thing, right? But then I feel like with other cultures, they're more open. So they're open, they have that dialogue, right? It's certain subjects within our culture is taboo. So you can't talk about sex, you can't talk about positions, you can't talk about going down or giving head, you can't talk about, oh, you had a baby outside of wedlock, oh, you got drunk, you went prison, you take drugs. Oh, like,
but this is life. It happens.
That's what I'm saying. It's life. We all know this person went here, this person went that because we chat.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of chatting. I'm not gonna lie.
Every human being is. Yeah. Everyone is. But I think we hide it. And
I don't chat too much, guys.
we hide it a lot, and we don't talk openly. And Why is it such a taboo to talk about sex? I mean, your mum and dad had sex to have you, so why is it such a taboo?
But you know what? It's like when I lost my virginity, I didn't tell my mum. I didn't want her to know. My mum obviously found out I had sex when I came home and said, "Oh, boom, I'm pregnant." Do you get it? Apart from that, I don't want my mum to be thinking of me like what you know. I don't want her to think of me like that, and that's probably where it stems from, right? Same way. I remember one time my dad, we were in the car and then some girl that I grew up with was pregnant with her like third or fourth child. And my dad was in the front seat, me and my sister was in the back. And my dad was like, you know what? You need to be very careful with these guys. You know that they'll tell you this and that. And they only want to do things with you. Me and my sister were at the back going, what the fuck is going on? Why is my dad talking to her? And he was like, I was a guy. We're like, ooh. That no, we don't need to know. Like, we know you and mum had to do something to get us. I don't even think about it. Do you get it? So I feel like the same way we don't want to think about our parents, they don't want to think about us. But then I don't want to think about my sister or my brother or my bedroom doing. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
I mean, look, everyone likes sex.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I don't think there's any human being that doesn't like sex. Right.
There are some actually.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's a name for it. I actually heard it, and they don't enjoy it
at all. Okay, something.
But yeah,
new.
but go on. Sorry.
Do you think going forward, right, in our new generation, we're gonna be more open?
I don't know. So I feel like every generation gets more open, right? Every generation is more open to experiences, to being vocal about their life or their sexual preference or their sexual feelings and stuff. So I feel like it can, but it all depends on how this generation is, right? If we're in limbo, right? We're a bit like our parents, but we're a bit more modernized, or we're a bit more open, but we're not as open as we would like to be because we still have the parents' influence. So then it's like, well, the next generation, they might be less influenced by our parents, and then it trickles down, right?
A little bit by bit.
Yeah. So it can happen, and like it all depends on how people communicate. And our community is small, like you said. So the Ethiopian community is very small, the Eritrean community is very small, and it's like people know each other, right? And it's like, but what you'd see now, actually, which I see a lot, is a lot of Ethiopians and Eritreans mixing, because it's like, well, if I hook up with an Eritrean, it's cool, isn't it? Because no one knows it's happening in the Ethiopian community, right? I can go there, and vice versa. So that is something that's happening as well.
It's true. I would like to
that.
bring that subject next time. But you know what's so funny? You know when you're at home, right? Even as a grown person, and your parents are at home, you're sitting room, you're watching TV. There's a little kissy, little kinky.
Dude,
yeah?
I'm
it's
like
the
this.
most awkward moment you
Yeah.
can have. Why is that? We're watching a film, we're thinking, why?
Because you're watching it and you might be thinking, the way their lips and you might be having memories. Anything can happen in it, or you might be like,
or you're thinking like your mum and dad are thinking a bit kinkiness.
You might holler at someone like if you're watching certain things, be like, oh, what you on? Like, I haven't seen you for time. No, we're adults here, innit? Like, you might say that, but if your parents are there, you're like, shit. Like, you don't want to watch it. Like, you pretend that you're not watching it. Be like, yeah, so what are you saying? Oh, you pick up your phone.
Yeah, all of a sudden, everyone acts funny. Everyone's
innit?
act funny. Mobile's not ringing, but you're on it.
Because imagine, like,
you're going to the toilet.
Have you ever watched a film, like, with a kissing scene, whatever, or sex scene, and then have you ever looked at your parent to see if they're watching you?
Should I tell you a funny story?
Have you?
No, but I'll tell you.
What happened? Were they watching you?
No, but I'll tell you a funny story, yeah? I was in my family house, right? You see the satellite, Ethiopian Eritrean channel,
Yeah.
right? One of my uncles sitting there, flicking the channels, right? So he's trying to find the Habesha channel, right? He landed in a porn channel.
Oh, Lord.
You sure he knew what he was doing?
Mate, listen, you know what the funny thing was, yeah? It was
I don't even imagine
a lot of adult in the guest, right? All we heard was a noise, right? And you know when the person...
Were you like, I know that noise, not joking.
He's probably thinking the same thing. But do you know what it was? He was holding the remote control, right? You can tell he was so shocked. He started pressing the wrong buttons.
No.
And then the thing got stuck. Yeah, because you know, like, you normally got ding, like, you relax, you're not thinking, right? But when he went, ding, noise, he's like... He said, best mom Kudus.
But you know what? Saying that, you know, like when you watch Habesha movies, They don't lips. They don't kiss.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
another
remember,
thing.
and even when they have sex, they don't do that. And I remember I watched a Habesha movie, and I was watching it, and I was like, are they gonna kiss? And I was literally like, me and my mum watching it, and I was like in my seat, I was like, okay, this is awkward. I don't know if I should watch to see if they're gonna do it or look at my mum. What should I do? And I watched, and they were like, and then it faded, and you're like, oh, okay. And then all the sex scene, they were like, yeah, they're getting ready, and then suddenly you see them in the bed. The guy is holding the girl, smoking the cigar out. It's like, that was good, bro.
Holding whiskey.
Yeah. But
It's true.
I'm not gonna lie. And then I saw one Habesha movie where they kissed, and I was
No
like,
way.
and I was like, what
There
is
is
going
a movie out there
Yeah,
kissing.
yeah. I'm gonna try and find it for you. And I was watching it with my mum, and I'm like, Mum, like, what's going on?
Things are
I'm
changing.
so confused. So it's weird because like now when you said about the next generation, would they be more open? But it's like,
How would you feel if your son grew up 16, 15, right, and he sat down,
I don't know if I'm gonna like this guy. Go on.
right, and then you know how, let's say people outside our community, they bring their girlfriend, right? What would you do? Are you gonna allow it?
You might watch this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say your name, but you know you're my kid, innit? So when you're older, no girls coming to my yard. Are you mad?
So
For
what age would
Do I
you
look
allow
like
him?
What? Do I look like I'm Sada, bro? Or nudge? No. Well, then what? Try and come stay and stay overnight?
Yeah. So what age would that be appropriate for you to allow your kid to date?
No, they can date. Okay, the thing is, I feel like 16 is young to date, but this is the situation that we're in now. Cool, you want to date? All right, date. But for her to come to my yard, stay overnight as well. Yeah, no, that's not happening.
All right, not obvious. All right, let's just say she came to the yard, had tea right in front of you. She's about to leave. She lips them in front of you and leave.
No.
Would that work?
Not at all, bro. That's
Nothing.
the ultimate disrespect.
So like, not even
You're gonna lips in front
Not
of
even like, all right, babes, I'm going. She goes, mwah.
Go to the door and kiss. Why are you kissing in front of me?
Yeah, but he's sitting there. He's like, all right, babes, they're comfortable. They're thinking my mum is open-minded.
Nah. I can be open. Never. And I never even lips my man in front of my mum.
You know what? A weird thing is said
there.
that. Even a married guy right now, I can't do that in front of her parents or mine.
Public affection.
It's
What's your take on public affection? That's a good.
yeah, it is.
Public
It's very
affection,
strange.
like, I don't mind. Like
But in
we can
our
hold.
community, we don't.
We don't. Like,
No, we don't do it in public. In our community anyway. You don't go to a wedding with your missus or your wife, right? And let's just say you're in the middle of the dance, right? Or let's just say you got early, she was at work, she came and she arrives, right? Like a movie. And then normally he goes, hi babes, you here? Mwah. And you sit down. How was you like, hey, where you been? You alright? Yeah.
No, but see, look. So I like.
Matash, matari. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing.
No, but you know, my love language is touch.
Yeah.
So like, even when I see my friends, I'll hug them. Like, I'm always that kind of person. So with my partner, whether we're out or we're at different places, we're holding hands.
Yeah.
I might hug you like this. I won't lips you.
There
Or
you
I
go.
might try to get a sneaky one in when no one's looking. I'll be like, okay, cool. But hugging, holding hands, we're doing all of that. Don't.
Yeah, I've seen them
when I'm
hold hands,
grabbing your
yeah.
hand, bruv, don't move it from me.
Yeah, your whole, but would you, if he
When I'm
got
on the
it early,
escalators, bruv, I'm hugging you up like that. Hug me back.
but would you kiss him?
Yeah, right. If I want to, why not? If it depends on how I'm feeling, right? Yeah, I would.
Right in the dance floor, he arrived. He's
Oh,
like,
you mean?
"Babes."
Oh, you mean? In,
Let's say it's a wedding. Like he arrived.
I would give a peck. I wouldn't give it like a full on lips, but I would give it like mwah, on the lips. That's mine now.
Quick one, you're looking at her.
No, on the lips is fine. If you're together, you're together.
I've just never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Why don't parents show it the affection more? Have you grown up in a house where you?
My parents are divorced, so I don't know.
I've never seen anyone.
But it's a good
Habesha
question.
parents.
That question itself about why Habesha parents are not affectionate. Do you know what it is as well? It's like I feel like some Habesha parents that are still in love with each other and have stayed together because they're still in love with each other are affectionate to each other. But those who have stayed with each other just because they got married back in the day don't show affection to each other.
That is
That's
a
what I
very,
clocked.
very important question. Do Habesha parents show affection? And do you know what it is? I think that is part of
They
it.
show it to their kids. Mums
They
do.
don't.
Mums
But
do.
yeah, they do. But I think that's why sometimes that has effect on how we grow up. We think about sex.
Dude, I said to my dad, I love you. And my dad's like, yeah, cool.
The parents to each other though.
Yeah. The parent. We've never seen Habesha parents. I've never seen it. Do they even kiss?
But But again, it depends. One, firstly, if they still have that connection together.
Yeah.
Two, again, showing public affection is not something that generation did, right? So it's not something that they would do now. Like, say for example, if I was married or I had a boyfriend or a fiance, whatever, and we're sitting here, I might be like, oh, babes, manam, and whatever. But my mum would never do that with my dad, or like. But that's because you don't show it. That's not what they're meant to show. Like, they show that in the room, whatever, or when they're together by themselves. Do you get it? Some people, they not even for the community. They're not that kind of. They don't want to show it, right? Some people don't want people. You know, we're together. That's it. Halas. No one else needs to know that we're together. No one, just because you guys are kissing and hugging, and it doesn't mean that you're happy, right? Some people just do it for show.
I think, you know what, Habesha, especially the Habesha mothers, I feel like they show affection to their husband by feeding them. That's what I feel like. I'm telling you. I feel like I don't think
that's
I feel like they bring them injera, eat, they're cooking for them.
I don't think that's them showing them love. I feel like it depends as well, because it's women, it's like what you were saying about the word that you said. Say it again. I can't say it. Misogyny. Sorry.
Misogyny.
This is a very hard word for me. Sorry, but that one. So it's the women. It's like it's always that thing where you have to. Not you have to cook, but they deem you to be the person. Yeah, it's not their duty, but it's like
they feel like it's their duty.
Yeah, but some women feel like they have to cook. So for example, like now me. Like, if my man can cook, boom, can you cook for me? But then sometimes I want to cook for you. I want to cook for the kid. I want to feed. Like, I've realized now I'm a feeder. So like I'll be cooking. Like if I make Habesh food, I can't make one dish or two dishes. I need to make 4, 5, 6 because I need to feed you. Like today, I took food for my brother, and I was saying to him, I made this, I made that. He was like, "Wow, you made a lot," and I was like, "Yeah," because I can't see a plate with 2 different dishes only. It needs to be
full.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I feel like, with the older lot...
Did that come from your mum?
I think one from my mum, because my mum always makes sure, like, everyone eats and, she'll make lots of food and stuff. And then 2, because I'm a mum myself. And it's just to, you always just worried about people. You always want them to eat, and I don't know.
So you don't think there's a connection between affection, feeding people?
Maybe, actually, maybe, yeah.
I feel like every household I go to, the mum, they're always feeding their husband. Where you been?
Yeah, but is that because the husband's not trying to cook?
Yeah, that is another story. But because I don't see no affection, I've never seen I've seen the most
I've seen some
Habesha couples, the older generation, happy, touchy,
Yeah.
But I've never seen that little mama or.
Oh no, I've never seen that. I've seen them happy and they'll bust jokes and they'll flirt, whatever. But I've never seen them kiss and stuff.
Oh, the wife sitting in his lap, he's holding her.
Oh no. But wouldn't you feel weird seeing your parents like that? Or you might feel that might actually make you more open in your relationships as well.
Yeah, I think it would, because I think if we do that now, it would be normal for our next generation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they see you, your partner, so they're not going to make it as a big deal. This is what mum and dad do. So
yeah.
It's not a big deal. They might sit with you and watch certain programs, kissing. They won't make it a big deal.
But would you feel comfortable with your parents? Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine like me jamming with my parents and then they're like, "Oh baby," I don't know. Like, I personally feel weird, but that's maybe because
it's how we grow up. Well, like I was saying, I think that's why it has effect on us, how our parent raised us, and we didn't see that affection. It has effect how we think, how we treat our women.
So you think that if they were like, if your parents, say for example, if you grew up with your parents and stuff, and they were so affectionate, hugging and kissing, that would make you feel more relaxed.
Yes, it would,
and make you want to then. Would that make you then bring your wife to the house and then? But can you? I can't even imagine like your mum and your dad on the sofa, you and your wife on the sofa watching a movie, in bed, giggling and hugging and kissing. I feel that's weird. I don't know.
Do you know what it is?
Imagine that. I can't fathom it.
I'll tell you what it is, yeah. And I hope my wife doesn't mind me saying this, right? When we go to her parents, right, they treat us. I think they're very open minded.
Yeah.
They treat us as a husband and wife. Yeah. So they set the bed for us, right? My wife, I feel sometimes she's more Habesha than I am. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm your husband. What's the problem?"
But that's mad that you said that, because an example now, I went to Ethiopia one time with one of my exes, and for me, I was just like, "Bruh, we're from London, like the family need to know Wagwan," innit? And as respect, I wanted him to be introduced to my auntie and stuff. And then we stayed overnight at my auntie's house, and I was like, "Boy, are you staying with me?" And he was like, "Nah." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the spare room. Like, you sleep there." And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "No, it has to be respectful." Da, 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 da. And I was like,
Is that
cool? But
what
wait,
does it mean?
This is what happened. But this is because he knows, because he's very Habesha, isn't it? So he knew what was gonna happen. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, my door went bang right open, and my auntie looked, and she was like, "Good morning." Looking around the room, looking in the bed, and it was just me and my cousin. And I was like, "What's going on?" Like, but because do you get it? Because first she was like, and then she said, "He's a good guy. He's won brownie points because he slept in another room."
What? Now, hold on, I'm lost here.
No, they don't want you to.
No,
like,
but
that's not my husband or nothing.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Even if
is
your
that
husband
because it's not your husband? Would it matter if he was your husband?
I don't know. I think husband it would.
You think so?
Yeah, I think husband they would want you to be together. But then I think because it was a boyfriend, they were a bit like.
But then, you know what? My thing is, yeah, they know that's your boyfriend, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They know you're doing something with your boyfriend.
They don't want to accept it. You know when I found out I was pregnant, I cried when I told my uncle, because I didn't want him to feel like I don't want him to think that I'm having sex. I don't know.
See, there you go. This is where it is. I think we are so afraid to talk about sex with our family. I think it has so much effect on everything we do.
Yeah.
Everything when it comes to sex, affection, we're so worried, not just what a stranger would think or a friend think, our own parents, our own brother and sister, auntie, uncle, like the thought of them, judge.
But judgment, we judge people and people
but
judge
even the
us.
thought of them thinking you're having a sex, you're thinking, oh my God, they think I'm having sex. Hold on, yes, you had sex because they had sex too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you don't want them to think of you having sex. Like, I don't want to think about my friends or I don't know, nothing like that. I don't know. It's just a weird situation, right? But then it's funny because do we not want to be judged because we judge people? That's the question, right?
That's a good point.
That's what I'm thinking now. We're talking, right? Because like I feel like maybe I probably am guilty. Like I feel we're all guilty of judging to some respect. So we can let's say for example there's a Showweek, whatever, and she's sexually free. She's like loving, kissing her husband, kissing her boyfriend, whoever it is, and we're gonna be like there's gonna be people that are like, and there, bruv.
Of course.
What she do? Like really on road? Like can't she wait till she get home? And people, we all say that.
Say that in Amharic.
Say what in Amharic?
What you exactly said in English.
Okay, I'll be like, when shall we do? A bit እስከም oh god a bit መግባት አትችልም እንዴ እንደዚህ ያረገች
why ስዲ ገዛ ይብላንዲያ
that's what I'm saying bro literally like እንዴ ምን ነው ስነ ስርዓት የለው ባለጌ do you get it? And then it's like, if a guy did it, this is the thing, and this is another thing, right? If a guy did it, you're like, he's a bit like, oh.
So there's still judgment.
Yeah.
Again, but there's the levels, right?
I think, it is a level of judgmental. It's a level that taboo. Sex, I think, is non-existent when it comes to conversation in our community. We don't communicate about it at all.
No, yeah.
I've never seen anyone sit their children talk about sex.
I'm just like, sex education. We don't have that.
I've never heard
it back home. It's not in the
your mom, your dad, your auntie, or anybody sat you down and goes,
about the birds and the bees and stuff, bruv.
It doesn't exist. So it's always a taboo that is hidden. We don't talk about it.
So that's something we need to try and find ways in which we can talk about it.
Yeah, because we need to let people feel comfortable so they can explore their sexuality. You know? And I think if you let people talk, they won't make as much mistake I think they would. Because sometimes they hide it, they'll end up going to certain places they shouldn't go to do whatever they want to do. And you know what they say, whatever goes in the dark is going to come out to the light. You get what I mean? So if we was a bit open, I think, you know what? We can learn. We can learn not to be judged and not to judge. And that can help us in our relationship, not just in sex relationship, but actually relationship.
So communication. Let's just communicate, guys.
Yeah, yeah. To wrap it up, what can we take from this conversation and what kind of call it advice or whatever you want to call it?
I don't think advice. I think more like I feel out of this conversation, it's communication. communication is key. So we have to have this open dialogue with each other, with our friends, our family, and then see where it takes us.
Absolutely. I loved it. It was very interesting conversation. You know what we do. You know what time it is. I want to hear what tune you got for us today.
Me? Oh, you want me to say the name? I don't even know the name.
Yeah, figure out. You know the name. You know what you want.
Shaggy, yeah, Shaggy too.
Shaggy, yeah, Shaggy too. DJ S Boogie with a fur. You got a tune for us?
Smada,